Here we go, take 3. Trying to get my microphone organised. Decided to do a random video on a Friday evening. 27th of June 2025. And randomly ended up watching a making of Dawn of the Dead special on YouTube. One of my favourite films of all time. Watched it hundreds of times, all different versions. And it suddenly struck me. You can draw the comparisons between the original Dawn of the Dead in its tone, and its tonal shift, and 28 years later, the new Danny Boyle, Alex Garland genre, the zombie infected movie. And everyone's up in arms at the moment about the inconsistency in tone throughout the various stages of that movie 28 years later. And the cherry on the cake would be the bizarre ending, the last couple of minutes of the movie, which totally takes you right out of whatever you were experiencing earlier on in the film, and left everyone scratching their heads, and they're all freaking out about it. Oh, fucking hell, what's he done? He's lost his mind. Oh, fuck, the Jimmies. But if you think about it, for its time, Dawn of the Dead was revolutionary. It was groundbreaking, still is. And that film, from start to finish, bam, you're straight in the action in the beginning in the TV station. That Goblin soundtrack, that build up, that panic, and then you get the SWAT team raid on the building with the immigrants or the Mexicans, whatever they were. And then, whack, all of a sudden the place is crawling with zombies. And it gives our two characters, Roger and Peter, a chance to get together, meet up, catch up with Fran and Steven, get in the chopper, and the airfield, the rednecks, the National Guard scene, the weird music, because I'm a man, wanna be the center of attention. And then they find the mall, and when they get to the mall, again, you're taken through a whole range of emotions. I mean, you can have slapstick comedy 1 second, and dread and terror the next, and tragedy, and the characters struggling, and the weird music. The film's got an incredible soundtrack, varied, fucking insane soundtrack, and you get pinball all over the place with it, with that film. I saw it as a kid; it scared the hell out of me. Still does. And then out of nowhere, they've got the whole place sealed off. They've got their little safe corner of the world to live in and get bored in, and the bikers show up. And then you've got the bikers ridiculing the zombies, stealing their jewellery, hitting them in the face with pies, weird zany music, and they're treating the zombies with an almost indifference. And it demystifies the zombies. It takes a lot of the fear away there for a few minutes. Oh shit. And then Steven gets caught in the lift, dragged down. That classic scene with them all bursting in the lift doors towards the camera. He gets bitten. Whack. All of a sudden, boom, you're hit in the face again with horror. Then the zombies suddenly get the better of the bikers, and the horror's back on again. And then you've got the ending, where, the black guy's gonna kill himself, and Fran gets just almost taken off on the chopper, and then he decides to make his breakout. You've got that crazy music, and then boom, ending. But soundtrack, visuals, gore, it was groundbreaking. It was squibs, heads exploding, weird blood pumping everywhere, limbs, machetes in the face, the whole lot. And then you look at 28 years later, and with its insane editing, and you've got arrows going through the infected heads bursting out, shot in the head, arrows bursting out the back of their heads. You've got heads being torn off. You've got excessive gore in the movie. Can you draw the similarities between that and Dawn of the Dead? Just a modern day equivalent. Was Danny Boyle, was he influenced by Dawn of the Dead? Is he trying to do his own kind of mishmash take on Dawn of the Dead? The shift in tone. When you compare Dawn of the Dead to Night of the Living Dead, can you compare 28 years later with 28 days later? Days had a kind of simplistic plot, easy to follow, low budget, groundbreaking, which is almost similar to Night of the Living Dead. Black and white, farmhouse, minimal cast, and then 10 years later you've got Dawn of the Dead. Total shift, mirroring the times, the changing of the times. Then we had to wait a certain amount of years or so. We got Day of the Dead, which is another shift in tone, which is also a classic. All three movies, Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead, are some of my favourite films. I've watched them numerous times over the years since I was a kid. Day of the Dead, that's just a creepy film. It oozes dread, that movie. It's kind of like a more stylised, more polished version of Dawn of the Dead. Dawn of the Dead, you can see the hokiness of it. Day of the Dead gives it a bit more polish, cleans it up a bit. The effects are better. The zombies look better. And is that what Boyle's going for? And are the Jimmies turning up in the end with that change in pace, change in tone of the film? Is that the equivalent of the bikers showing up in Dawn of the Dead? Takes you out of a horror film into zany slapstick comedy for a bit. Is that what he's going for? Is that what we should be looking at? Is that the angle we should be looking at these movies from? And is this going to be answered in the Bone Temple? Should we hold fire on our criticism and judgment of Boyle and this movie and Garland until we see this next instalment? And what kind of a tonal shift will that be? Is it wrong or is it right for a filmmaker to totally take us out of our expectations? When we saw the trailer, we thought it was going to be a father and son going off out into the mainland and echoing the same beats as 28 days later. We've forgotten about 28 weeks later. That's been kind of pushed aside, alternate timeline or something. But we were all expecting a kind of similar movie to 28 days later, which is what it could have been with that first segment with the father and son going to the mainland. But then, boom, we get the kid taking his mum back onto the mainland. We get the doctor played by Ralph Fiennes. We get a shift in tone there, and then we got the finale. So should we be looking at this with fresh eyes, with it from a different perspective? Is that what Boyle was going for? He ricocheted us around a little bit with our expectations of this film, and we kind of, okay, you're off guard all the time. What is it? Is it horror? Is it gore? Is it comedy? Is it silliness? Is it daftness? Is it deep? Probably all of them. And maybe that's something we don't see a lot in filmmaking nowadays. Maybe our we've been programmed to expect total, like a consistency in tone of a movie, how it's going to start, the middle, the ending, and if that manages our expectations and gives us enough of a fix, okay, we leave the theatres thinking, oh, that was a pretty good film, yeah. But maybe Boyle's doing something different, and he's an intelligent filmmaker, and he's always done his own thing, gone his own way, and that's what's made him so interesting. That's what's made his films so good. Directors like Boyle, Tarantino, guys like that, they go their own way and they give us interesting products, and that's why they're so good. So that's just my 10 cents worth. I really don't know what the hell I'm talking about. I don't really do these kind of videos, but leave something in the comment, the usual shit, like, share and subscribe, all that bollocks. care. But anyway, thank you for listening. Over and out.